Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and we are playing Disco Elysium. Last we left off, we had explored most of the western coast, up towards the church. We agreed to help some youth deviants move into a church and set it up as a nightclub without drugs. We also then began our search for the lorry driver who was transporting drugs. We had spoken to Tommy Lahom last episode, but I don't want to push him too hard because he seems like a nice guy, whereas this cunt is going down.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Fess up, where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
First, you knew Siling didn't do it.
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Then why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
Actually, we do.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
I'll cross my arms and nod.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
I will say nothing.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
He tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends.
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
I think we might need to level up our drama.
Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him.
Okay, I'm going to jump out. We're going to give ourselves some pluses to Half-Light. Our Half-Light is so bad. Now, we've got some clothes for Half-Light plus. Plus one. Actually, are we getting Half-Light from these? No. Come on, come on, come on. There's got to be more Half-Light we can get. Come on. Oh no. Do we only have that as a plus to Half-Light? Oh no. Oh, we look pretty good. Oh, sorry. Alright, let's go.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
It's a white check. We can give it a go. Make him tell us what he knows.
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
Show me her lorry right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry, where is it? Oh, nice.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Oh, I've been to your fucking lorry. I know where it is. I'm gonna burn it down. You hear me?
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably.
Fuck this
I
guy.
haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Where exactly is a lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Nice. That was a very Aussie way to say nice. I apologize for Joyce. Sorry about that. Did we change anything else out? No. Cool, everything else is the same. Actually, do we want to put on some better pants? +1 electrochemistry, -1 savoir-faire. That's actually terrible. We should be wearing these ones. Wait, that's still giving us +1 electrochemistry. Guess we could put these pants on. +1 empathy. Oh, +1 empathy. We could use that to try and figure out what the story is with Tommy Leon. Okay, that'll do. Oh,
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party.
I like regular, normal things.
I know you do. These Inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this, that's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense? This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you.
So what's that? Because we do have Kingdom of Conscience. I don't know what it's done to me, though. It doesn't seem to have done anything to me. What are these pants giving me? We don't have any... We don't have... Okay, we'll just change it. Ah, we have now taken our pants off. There we go. That's better. Oh, Cuno had some pants, didn't he? I wonder if Cuno had some better pants than what we've got access to. Oh, that's okay. We'll find that out later. Let's head on down this way. Past the monument, we're looking for a green lorry. That'll be it. Oh, hang on. We're definitely going to need these to get in.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
I'll try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers. Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on them. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm, dusty too.
Let's try the door handle.
The door is locked.
Yeah.
The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
How are we going to get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Okay, we need to up our physical instrument. -2 to physical instrument? Probably not. I don't think we've got anything else that gives us physical instrument. Oh yeah. Is that better than this? No. Electrochemistry. Yikes. This is going to be a tough one.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is
Give it a go.
parked in the shadow of the ruins looming. Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass.
We were way off. Kim, the window appears to be shatterproof.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
He takes the pry bar from you and gestures for you to step back. Then, with little warning,
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now.
nice.
It went better than I expected. Open it from the inside.
I'll open the door.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
Let's start with the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Ingenue. Ingenue. I feel like I know what that means, but I can't quite remember. Ingenue.
There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Yeah, I'm going to stop and smell. What is that?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade number 5.
Let's study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
I'm just wondering if it's worth us bumping our encyclopedia, because our current is 12. If we could get it one higher. Because what is the challenging? Quick peekaroo. I just want to see what the challenging is. Medium. Here we go. Oh, 12 is challenging. Okay, so no, our encyclopedia is perfect right now. That's okay. I just wondered if I needed to get a bit higher so that we had a better chance of passing these checks with the encyclopedia. Let's examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
100 radio stations saved. What?
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Kim, what about Speed Freaks FM? Is it one of the saved stations here?
No, that's on 78.9.
Eastern. Raise your eyebrows.
What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations? Unless, of course, they were operating an enormous drug ring from this lorry.
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range, too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Anything else we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is in here?
The ghostly actresses, and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat, and the oddly bulging seat cover.
Let's check the pedals. We'll go through all of these. So let's check the pedals next.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
We've just found Odd's soul.
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip, Kim.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
And sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right sole boot.
Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at that crime scene had an aberration. One sole smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
This is the 8th Hardy. Here.
Looks like her, yes.
And she was also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Not necessarily. Hang on. This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions. I actually don't. This is going to sound crazy, but I actually don't get the sense the Hardy boys actually did kill this person. I think they're covering up the crime. I don't know. I think they're doing their best. I think they want what we want. They want Martinez to be a safe place.
Understood. We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
Let's do the toolbox first, because I'm pretty certain the passenger seat cover, that was a special thing we noticed with our high perception. So let's do the pull-out toolbox first. Come back to that passenger seat.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system.
The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Alright, we'll put the toolbox away.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows.
Alright, let's see what's in that passenger seat.
Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
The lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasure. Well worn and folded into neat squares. Alright, let's check out the topmost map.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the mass of brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where does the road lead?
To Cuno, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
Let's check the second map.
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct.
Under our fucking noses.
No storm will ever drown Revachol. The great solution to the riddle of history.
Let's look at the third map.
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway.
What does all this mean?
It means that the smugglers are secretly using the motorway to transport their goods and materials. They've infiltrated the East Motor Tract, most likely. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Where does contraband end up?
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it.
Besmerti? That sounds vaguely familiar.
The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes. But really, they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta. It's a dark parody.
Who do you think's behind all this, Kim?
It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madre's name without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it. Somewhere on a hidden field, a flash of light, a whirring sound. Camera lenses focus on a man in a ragged police uniform, standing in a field of blood-red poppies. A blurry figure dressed in white stands right by the camera. The bedraggled cop is holding a manure fork. "Don't hurt me," he whimpers. "But why? Why would I hurt my own peon?" asks the man in white. What kind of an animal would do such a thing?
Ooh, okay. There's a dirty police officer. Return the stack of papers under the seat.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before. He closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Oh. Cop of the Apocalypse.
Cop of the Apocalypse.
Alright, what's the solution?
It's not fire. It's not ash. There will most certainly be a sea of corpses leading up to the event. But it won't be war or pestilence that causes it. Oh no, the event will belong to a genre of cataclysm no man has dared to suspect would ever come to pass. You can only sense the shape of it, like a cavity, a pit opening up in your stomach, a throat into which the world will vanish. The streets, the grass, the stars, all will be rolled back. By whom? By what? And how? You don't know. All you know is you're not joking around.
The Pale. Learning cap for Inland Empire raised to 6. Learning cap for Shivers raised to 6. Is that good? Inland Empire was already pretty high. I guess it's good to have a bit of extra stuff for Shivers. That's not so great in terms of what we get for Inland Empire. We can always discard thoughts if we don't like them. I'll keep it for now. Because I don't think we have any better ones. But in the future, I might consider dropping Cop of the Apocalypse. It's not quite as good for us as some of the ones. Alright, let's talk to Kim. Actually, let me just change my clothes first. I want to put my +1 logic. +1 conceptualization. What's our conceptualization at? 4? No, let's go +1 logic, actually. We'll look a bit smarter. Yeah. That's pretty good. So what are our bonuses? We've only got a -1 to reaction speed from our genes, which takes it down to 2. I'll drop a point in that. Yeah. Okay, let's talk to Kim.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
Yeah, it does actually.
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
So it turns out this is connected to the Union.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them to other ends as extra ammunition.
I'm not going to ask about the movie posters. We know they don't factor in. Would the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Alright, debrief over.
Debrief over. After you.
Okay, so before we go talk to Joyce, let's go talk to Evrart. And I'll let him know that we've done what he asked us to do. Oh, let's get our Ledger of Oblivion back out. Just double check there's nothing else here, like any orbs I might have missed or things I haven't seen. Good to kind of keep an eye out now that we've got higher perception. Oh yeah, what's our rhetoric at the moment? 3. Should we try and rhetoric this door open? Let's have a look.
You're back before the cargo container.
Okay, alright. That's fine. Alright, let's go let Evrart know we have delivered the letter. We didn't get... oh no, we got the we totally got the
Mr.
signatures.
Dubois, a pleasure as always.
It's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
Wait, how'd you know this?
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Oh, Bratan, you play the old man like a 3-string banjo. He has no idea.
Thank you, Nectar. You're welcome.
Better not to gloat, sire. 'Tis arrogance that gives the play away. Be subtle.
Okay, we will not ask about the signatures. Did you order the hangman killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Oh, Evrart. They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid for your men?
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men.
No offense, Evrart, but even 10 men wearing that armor that makes them impenetrable to bullets. And if they had automatic guns, there's nothing you're going to do, mate.
The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries.
It's true.
The leftists hate them.
We
the
do.
fascists hate them. Even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How's this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that.
He believes this stuff. I think he's actually exactly... So he's kind of taken on this corrupt bureaucrat role. I think he actually genuinely believes in this in the unionization and the socialization of Revachol. I think he's actually genuinely doing it, and this role that he's playing is to further that purpose.
We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
I think he actually means it.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
What?
Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying.
Evrart, why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. And they're all well motivated, at least the ones you've seen.
How are you going to fund your new independent harbour?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Everything?
We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
Oh, I actually like what he's done. No! He's fighting capitalism. I'm a huge fan.
That's drugs.
Oh.
Drug trafficking.
Oh, okay, I take it back. I spoke way too soon.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, though, isn't it, Evrart?
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
Oh, God.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
Oh, this game does one thing really well, and that's complicated characters. On one hand, I like that Everart's cutting out the capitalists and giving more money to his workers, but at the same time, he's funding an incredible drug problem to do it. Like, he's creating a permanent health crisis in this district.
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
It's even more devious. He's doing it to other people. Oh, God.
He's basically admitting to it.
On one hand, though, it does make sense to regulate the drug trade. It does make sense to regulate it a bit. Oh, no. I have to admit, that's a well put together plan and far removed from you.
It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who've put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
It would still be illegal, though, Evrart.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel.
Objection, Your Honour. Relevancy?
I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
Hold on, I don't want to look at the big picture. I want to look at the drug trade you almost admitted to.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it. Boys, Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering?
That's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work.
Can I ask you about a specific union member, Mr. Clare?
We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. But it had to be done.
Fine. Where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character. So watch out.
This is the one who called herself the pig when she came over to buy it from Bird's Nest Roy.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
Just dying slowly. So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy?
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway.
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
She was waving it around at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
Can you set up a meeting, Evrart?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
No, that's it. We're out.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debardeurs Union.
Suddenly there's sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, But if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
I've just finished investigating the local drug trade, actually, Mr. Clear.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
I'll just let's have a quick look, see if there's anything else we've missed.
I'm always happy to educate and
No,
very
that's it.
nice, Harry. Most certainly,
Nah,
by
okay,
all
cool.
means.
Oh,
Hey, psst.
who? Me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Again?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love?
Yeah, no, we should all stop building love.
This conversation isn't really about love. Try to keep up, okay? This is about the communism you've promised to build. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted. Is that true?
How come there's word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Wait, first, what's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
I don't do failure.
Of course you do. You are failure. You are communism. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb stomped, shat on. While everyone else is out partying, having a callous laugh, you will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin. Where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist.
I really don't think I am, though.
Now get to work, comrade.
No, it's too tiring. I don't have it in me. I'm beat up and broken.
Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has objections. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Everyone knows this. Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one. There's one.
What should I do?
You should build communism. Precisely because it's impossible.
Normally I can trust Volition, but Volition now wants me to rebuild communism because it's impossible. I did say that I was going to try and trust Volition. No, shut up. I want to lie down and let the water carry me downstream. Discard. I'm not going to become a communist. Okay. So, we've got some time to kill before we go and confront the pigs. Talk to Leonard.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Lorry said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
Leo, in future, can we keep discreeting a bit shorter?
Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
Are you Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
What do you mean by taking this soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the Whirling in rags.
Hold up, who makes it at the Whirling?
Oh, the Whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something's off about this borscht. I'm going to look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Leo, you seem to know everyone around here. I just want to ask about someone.
Mr. Evrart doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about?
Tell me about Titus.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort, old Titus is.
Tell me about Evrart.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Evrart would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister.
Tell me about Renee.
The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who actually knows old Renee. They lived on the same street their entire lives, even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once.
Hang on. Gaston was your human studies teacher?
Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then.
Tell me about Measurehead.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would like me running my mouth about him like that. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that.
So Measurehead, yeah, Jean-Luc is Measurehead's real name. Tell me about Manana.
He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Evrart sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better.
Oil for the wheels. Much needed in stressful times like these.
And tell me about this Edgar guy you keep mentioning.
Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revershaw, they say.
I'm not going to interrupt Leo. Let's let him talk.
All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Evrat's turn to look after the union. But last year he spent a whole winter in South Africa. Left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made too.
Thanks, Leo.
Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
I'm off. Thanks, Leo. I don't think there's anything else there we need to worry about. Now, let's make our way. So, we've got a few tasks we need to do. I need to go and talk to Cuno. I need to talk to Joyce. We need to go talk to the smoker on the balcony about what he saw. Oh god, we've got so many tasks to do. 7 o'clock, so we've got 3 hours before we can confront the pigs. Let's go in order while we're here. Let's head down this way. Oh, we need to talk to this guy. I wanted to confront him about stuff. That's right.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Hey, tough guy. I had some more questions.
Things are busy enough. You going to waste less of my time?
We'll see.
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
Who are already strikebreakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
Think that's a lie.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
What exactly is your goal here, mate?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to breach the entrance, really?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Why don't you just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Alright, we're not going to get anything from him. I was hoping we might learn some more, but I don't think we're getting anything from him. Let's quickly check our notebook. We need to talk to Cuno, report back to Joyce, call back Alice the next day. Ask around about the tattoos. We haven't found anything about that. Oh, get hold of a sad song on tape. We do have that song. We could listen to it. Could find out what's going on with Cuno. Find the murder weapon. Oh, we do have paint. We should find a brush. Armour piece is going to be a while. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. Oh, the Doom's commercial area. Oh, now that we've got some pluses to physical instrument, we might be able to go down and do that too. Oh, and we haven't found moral either. Okay, we might have to go looking for that. We can take the stuffed bird to Gart. And talk about the special Borst. Okay, well while we're here anyway, let's drop the bird off to Gart and check in on the special Borscht. Oh, hang on.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to full-flavor cigarettes.
What are its hallmarks?
Clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it.
I'd rather know more about the world of today.
The contemporary period stands still. The fated carousel of progress that doomed the royalists is itself winding down. Our time is decelerating into what no one knows.
That was a bit disturbing. Alright, let's give Gart... Oh. A woman's hand wrote today's menu. Today's starts in a man's handwriting.
Can I help you?
Gart, I found a new bird for the Whirling.
What is this thing?
It's no biggie, I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
You're welcome, Gart.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem. This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90, or you get a heart attack from running.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Let's see if there's anything at the Whirling we need to talk about.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
So the phone line's dead.
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
That's pretty strange, isn't it, Gart?
It's not strange, it's inconvenient.
Is it true there was foul play?
Who told you that?
I would never disclose my sources. That would be dishonourable.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of arseholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the repair bill.
Secret task
Yes.
acquired. Alright, let's go find out about the Whirling Borscht.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Don't call him Garasi Kubek. We know that's not his name. Leo said you're friends with Maniano. That true?
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends.
What's in the borscht you're making there?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak.
Sorry, I don't understand you.
Just one word. Sounds quizzical. Then he awaits your answer with his brow arched.
Okay, I'm gonna nod. Yeah.
Borscht need more vodka?
He picks up the bottle from the shelf.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself.
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
No vodka. Cut it.
The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
Stay masculine. Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't think we want people getting more alcohol right now. Hopefully that'll help calm everything down, hey? How do we get up to talk to Klassier?
Cuno's like Cuno's dad? Cuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
I talked to Menyana about the armour.
So?
He said thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down that armour anyway.
Fuck, okay. Cuno's a giver like that, yes?
He looked slightly confused.
Cuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Cuno sent you to rough some people up. Cuno played you. That happened. Now you and Cuno should move on.
Good idea.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, that's what Cuno said. Don't be saying what Cuno said back to Cuno. Get the fuck out of here, Patterson Cuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Cuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
Alright, let's give it a go.
It's not Cuno. It's Cuno-S.
What? How?
Cuno-S is by far the worst of the two. Cuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind the fence, afraid for her life, like she's done something very bad. All in all, Cuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with him alone.
Cuno, just...
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. but watch what happens.
Fuck you whispering about!
If Cuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Cuno look bad in this.
Oh, okay. What's up with her? She's terrifying. Crazy, scary.
Crazy? You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane. Dangerous. She's smoked a man. She's done people in. Probably even pigs.
Stop talking to him! Cuno, I'm fucking warning you! You're gonna get us into shit!
She understands what you're trying to do.
Yo, see? Did Cuno not tell ya? Cuno told ya. Cuno talks to whoever he wants. Talk, pig. Cuno's got it under control.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her, so she can't read his lips.
What you mean? What you mean, Cuno? She smoked someone.
Cuno means she killed someone. That's right. She's a killer. Like, actually a killer.
His little green eyes are fixed on yours. He's meant everything he said before, but right now, he not only means it, he is sincere.
You serious about this killing business?
Killing is serious shit. Cuno's always serious about the 488.
488. The criminal code doesn't go higher than 190.
She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has.
Alright, how many cops has she killed then? Oh, come on, she hasn't killed police officers.
I knew you pigs were too naive for this shit.
Damn it.
Good thing Cuno's got her under control. Cuno keeps her calm.
He feels eyes on the back of his head and stops.
A cop would be too large for her to overpower, but a determined child of her size can still kill the vulnerable, the elderly, the homeless, or other children.
Whoa.
The creature peers at you both from over the fence. There is something searching in her eyes.
Cuno, do you think it's possible that she's killed other children?
Cuno falls silent. He does not look at you when he replies.
Cuno, that's it. That's what Cuno is starting to think, yeah.
We don't want to push this too far. We need to be careful. What's that language she uses? Napakimpi.
Fuck knows. She says it's the song of her people or some shit.
What people?
Crazy people. The fucking Nakis. I don't know.
It's Suruese. The Suru are an indigenous ethnic minority in the social democratic powerhouse Vasa on the tundra and tiger-covered Isola of Katla. Far, far away from here. As far as possible, really.
Do they have red-haired people there?
You mean evil little red-haired people like her? Yes, they do. The Suruese have that ginger gene.
Cuno, could she be Suruese?
Suruese? Like that man from Helmdall shit? She could be. She could be that Helmdall shit.
Revelshot does have a small Suruese community, or she climbed into a yakberry crate and was shipped over accidentally.
You said she's insane?
Yeah, she's psycho. None of that kiddie psycho. Cat burning shit. She does the real deal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, let's.
I think we're doing so well with Cuno. Oh my god. No, we know she doesn't have anything to do with the dead man. I'm not even going to bother asking. We know that she's not his sister. How are you dealing with all this, Cuno?
How's Cuno dealing? Cuno's dealing just fine. He doesn't need you fucking with any of it. C doesn't either. Cuno's got this shit under control.
You need backup. I'm here for you, Cuno.
Listen. C is Cuno's go-to. Cuno's protecting her. You fuck with C. You fuck with Cuno. You threaten her. You threaten to take her away.
This is what it all comes down to. He needs you to take him seriously now.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. You understand?
The boy looks you in the eye, black pupils trying to focus. I can respect that.
All right. Now we can do business.
Yes.
He's breathing heavily. That took something out of him.
Oh my god, we got Cuno on side. Business?
Yeah? What do you want? Cuno can hook you up with...
Oh, don't hook him up with shit, Cuno.
See? Relax. He respects the Cuno. Cuno made him respect the Cuno. You respect the Cuno, you get all kinds of shit. Cuno's gonna get you hooked on illegal narcotics if you run a little errand for the Cuno. Get you hooked, pig. Get his hook in you. Then Cuno gonna get you hooking for more. Cash in big style. Pig hooker. See, it's tension and release with Cuno. Now we releasing. The pan buying shit, that's on now too. 90% discount for Cuno's pig. Cuno can flex. Cuno flexes for hobos. Cuno sees you're in need.
Yep, I want the found pants. +1 savoir-faire, +1 physical instrument. That's outstanding. Yep, here you go, Cuno.
Here, pig. We're fun now. Performance buddies.
Cuno unzips his jacket again and pulls the pants out of the plastic wrapping.
Cuno could already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Cuno's debt now. Money debt.
Let's talk about your shack again, Cuno.
The fuck do you want with it?
No, I've got anything more
Good
of that.
call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Cuno about his kingdom.
What was that about running you an errand in illegal narcotics, Cuno?
Cuno gets it from his dad. Cuno and his dad are major suppliers. That's where Cuno gets his lightning on. Problem is, Cuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Cuno's door. Streets going mad. Cuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it.
Okay.
Dirty popo man is you. In there is Cuno's violent dad on steroids. Cuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed.
Who's your dad, Cuno?
Cuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing. He drinks too.
How much material we talking about here, Cuno?
Like half.
Half of what?
A baggie, but like in this vial.
That's half a gram, sir.
Half a gram?
Yeah, half a G. Want it or not?
We're not going to point out that that's not very much material. That will piss Cuno off. I've made up my mind, Cuno, is what's going to happen.
Okay. Cuno's listening.
Oof. I'm going in there, but not for speed. I'm going after the most violent man in Revachol.
Sure, whatever. If you survive, make sure to bring that shit back to Cuno. Cuno's almost out. You wouldn't like the Cuno when he's out. Just get in the apartment building. Cuno knows you already fucked your way in. Cuno knows everything. Go to room 12, first floor, and kick down the door. Police violence style. Cuno style. And then it's action time. You're locked in the room with violent fuckheads. That's it. Next time Cuno sees you, you better have his shit.
What the hell are you signing us up for here?
Come on, Kim. Obviously, I'm not going to take it. We need to get drugs away from a minor.
Okay, then.
Question about the crime scene?
Yeah. The kingdom of Cuno. The fuck do you want? Yeah,
No.
whatever. Cuno
Body?
does the fuck about it.
No.
You're testing.
Get lost.
Cuno does.
I thought we were friends, Cuno. I want to know more about the
Cuno's
armor.
like Cuno's dad. Cuno doesn't.
Did we have to talk to Cuno about the armor a bit more? Have we already done that? I guess we already did that. Okay, I guess that already counts. So we just need to keep looking for... okay, we're going to have to keep looking for more of the armor. That's going to be a tough one. Okay. In that case then, I think our next task is to make our way into the apartment building. I'm going to make sure Kim's not with us when we give Cuno his speed. Do we want to give Cuno... That's a stupid question. Do we want to give Cuno speed? No. Do I want Cuno on side? Maybe? I definitely wanted those pants, because that is now... Not only do we look amazing, we've now got pluses to everything. Sick. Okay, that's awesome. The only thing we've got a -2 is perception, but that's not counting because we've got ridiculously high perception anyway. Awesome. Oh, I wanted to... Sea breeze carries more than salt. Meat. Not rotten, not fresh. Grilled. Can I do anything with this wall? No, I need to talk to Cindy a bit more first. Okay, tell you what. let's talk to Joyce, and then we'll head back in this way. Just double checking there's not anything I've missed. Awesome, okay.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with the Lorry men at a roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
No, I'm going to let the lieutenant handle it.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
Sorry, what was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Sorry, and you held this information back from me?
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about a connection between a lynching and a strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith, Joyce.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humour.
Did you actually need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Crenell, we know their names.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me.
Oh, this is so bad.
To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
This is such a bad situation.
They wear ceramic armour, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
PTSD. They also have PTSD.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the Whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
This is so bad.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
I have to say, this is not Disco.
It is very far from Disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Hornet wins most of the time.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
We're just going to internalize the Fairweather T500. I really, really feel like I need that right now. I need to know how to get past it. We've also got some things we can level up as well. What should we level up? Let's level up Rhetoric. That's been holding us back for quite a while now. Tempted to level up Shivers. If I can get them to like 3 or 4, I think they generally are quite good. Let's get them up a little bit higher. Get Savoir-Faire up. And let's bump Shivers. Shivers is kind of helpful. That's pretty good there. That leaves us with 2 skill points.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
So pleased we just so pleased we just leveled that up then.
As I said, a bloodbath.
See, Kim, this is that great bloodletting I've been telling you about.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario? No. The confrontation's inevitable. 100%. There's fucking... This is so bad.
It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless officer of the citizens' militia. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
What can you tell me about Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Down a deep, black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yeah.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
This is so bad. Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database,
yes,
you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contact a company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Oh god, this is so bad. Oh god, that's not what I wanted. I was just trying to see if there's any other skills we need to level up to get more information. I feel like we're in a point where there's no such thing as too much info, but I don't think there's anything else we can learn here. You said the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching.
That's not true, we did.
Where did it take place? And when?
No, we did actually.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, A group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
This Colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lorry. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Courty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Courty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
The pang of regret to her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
Dang, that was clever, Kim.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining 2 mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Who have we heard use the term savages to describe people here? One of that guy, the strikebreaker, the leader, he's definitely one of them.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Vigilantes? The RCM gets its authority from the Coalition. Where does theirs come from?
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries?
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbour gate. Scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a border keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably in a building overlooking a roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
I have another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
Oh God.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
And it's day 3.
It's a matter of days. not weeks.
Oh god, that's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Found my badge, by the way.
By love, you did.
Fast, observantly, like an electronic printer.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
Now can you tell me about these tattoos, please?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a Interrogate not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
I'm going to stay quiet and observe her expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What's the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
This one's going nowhere but the morgue. I've spoken to him, for now the soul is fastened inside his corpse. Nowhere. There is no soul.
An empire without an emperor.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured. In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who could tell me more, Joyce?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Yeah, not a good idea.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help, Joyce.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, thank you. That's all for now. Oh boy. We are in a massive pickle. It's just really bad that an independent military contractor has gone rogue and is now attempting to sort themselves out. 8:30. Yeah, go on.
Give me a moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
She sneezes into a dirty handkerchief.
This woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do. Not in this damp.
Are you all right? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
She starts coughing, red spots appearing on her cheeks.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residents.
Oh, we've got loads of people. Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
I'm looking for Martin Martinez.
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry.
No, you don't understand. I'm looking for a real person named Martin Martinez. You told me he's Martin Martinez.
Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez, like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Ravachol.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
How about a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, smoker on a balcony? Know where he lives?
Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Yep.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
Oh, no trouble. I just wanted to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
Talk?
The cleaning lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her breath.
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
I'm also looking for Billy Majon. Do you know where she lives?
It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Majons in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of those doors on the balcony.
I'm also looking for the parent of a kid named Cuno.
The waiters are at the end of this hallway, right next to the communal bathroom.
Got some more questions about the apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
Do you know who lived in the foreclosed apartment?
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
Why is there a hole in the wall in the abandoned apartment?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
Can't fault that.
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down?
Is one of the residents on vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
Fair.
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
Who lives behind a padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar.
Suddenly, the old lady's face is beaming.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
Oh, you mean the Star and Atlas? Pretty sure that's a symbol for communism.
The symbol of what now?
Communism, you know, like in the World Revolution.
Never heard of it.
What can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
All right, thanks.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Thanks, lady.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. Sounded like a woman. A woman's shoes. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
That's not the right thing. This time, the steps come closer. Who is it? Demands a female voice, wary and tense. This is the police. Open up, please.
Do I have to open the door?
You hear the clacking of heels again. Sorry, wrong voice. You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. The tone is now getting a defensive edge.
Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
Who lives in number 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I just talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
Sure, I will go see what I can find.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
That's all, thanks.
She mumbles.
Okay. I just figured while we're here, let's have a quick look inside.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment's supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?
Excuse me? Of course not.
There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official. You have plenty of reason to enter.
Then open the door so I can verify your identity. Oh, I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's been a break-in.
Oh, come on.
There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
The lieutenant says, nodding toward the unlocked door. Thank you, Kim. Well, hello. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. Do we have that? Indirect modes of taxation? No, we don't. Looks like a fine mattress. A blister pack of medicine peeks out of the box. You should take it. Don't be ridiculous. You can hear it swarming with bugs. Of course I'm going to take it.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Her portrait is terrifying.
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20, at least. Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
I don't need your ID, I just need to ask you some questions.
Very well, but please make it quick. I need to be back in La Delta in an hour.
What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Reprehensible. Who lived here?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending.
That was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
Yeah, I can believe it.
The sum must have been puny. Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
Couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
No, it's not. There's a curse.
It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead real estate and breathe life into bank accounts.
My money's also disappeared, I think.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it.
So wait, what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
That's all, thank you.
Of course.
She replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave. Alright, we'll quickly let the old lady know that it's just a real estate agent. Oh, hang on.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
What do you mean?
Nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
I'm just browsing.
Yes, that's what it is.
The Jamrock
A quick
shuffle.
peek here. A short glance there. It's all quite delectable.
The Jamrock shuffle. -1 esprit de corps. No, we're not taking that then. Although I imagine it's probably good afterwards.
Give me a moment.
I didn't find any counterculture people in apartment 10, just a real estate agent setting up the room for new tenants.
I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them.
I'm sure everything will be fine. This apartment building needs slow change. Imperceptibly slow. No one is coming. There will be nothing but squalor unless we start killing real estate agents. Let's just say what she said. Yeah, radio computer wizards are coming. They're going to save the place and the economy.
Oh, I do like wizards. And people like that in general. They have a lot to tell us about our fates.
She means clairvoyance.
Thanks, I'm off. Alright, let's see if we can track down Martinez. Definitely not his real... Oh, hang on. She said the Derutas were at the end of the hallway near the bathroom. That's here.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Doroita.
Looks like we found where Cuno's dad lives.
And the place comes with 3 months' worth of utility bills.
Let's make sure we've got the right tool
A
equipped.
shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges. Snip. The cutter goes through them like dead leaves. The links fall to the ground on the other side of the door.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick.
I like how Kim's just given up. He's like, yeah, this is just what you're going to be like. Right, let's have a look. We're just going to rob him too, I guess. Yeah, we'll take that. Cuno Deruta is the name on the unfinished homework.
A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw.
Lieutenant, I've located psychoactive substances on this table.
Good. Confiscate it.
The minuscule amount of amphetamine doesn't interest the lieutenant in the slightest. He listens instead to something in the other room.
I think I can hear snoring.
You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world.
Glossy erotica covers the wall, wrinkled from moisture. Take some pants. It's from 2 years ago. The air stinks with something sour.
A bundle of clothes heaped on the bed. A stained parka, some towels and a duvet. Some socks even. In the dark, it looks like a nest.
Hold up, Lieutenant. Look at that pile of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly reach out your hand.
Something underneath there is breathing. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Just get out.
Keep extending your hand towards the pile.
Your hand touches a greasy duvet covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a growl. There is something alive underneath it. It's deep, in suffering somehow.
Pull the blanket off.
You see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from large amounts of alcohol, and God knows what else. The smell of shit rises from his mouth.
Gross.
You don't have to take him down. He's already down.
Kim, is this thing even alive?
I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
He points to a fleshy lump sticking out from the other side of the blanket. The limb seems to be twitching from time to time.
And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock bearing the name Maxtor on the sole. 3 toes are poking out of a hole.
This is sad.
Maxtor is a gas company. He's wearing free socks from a gas company. They probably came with the bills. A groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle. He's trying to say something in his sleep.
What's he trying to say?
The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets, trying to gesticulate something. And then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs, he says. He's trying to call you pigs.
What did you just say?
His hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated. A loud snore escapes his mouth. He's asleep again.
At least he got to say his piece.
Is this Cuno's father we're seeing, Kim?
Well, judging by the color of his hair, I would say yes, it is.
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his half-open eyes.
I was expecting something worse.
I think he's still quite bad. I mean, what he has come to. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but at least he won't be beating his son.
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake.
Hold on, what happened to his eyes?
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight.
This is serious damage. I'm still not sure he's not dead. Suddenly, the man starts growling. 3 words manage to escape his mouth, along with a strong stench of alcohol.
Look, he's trying to communicate.
Maybe we should help him somehow.
What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side.
Poor guy.
We could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical services. The almshouse would turn him down. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'll be dead in a few.
Lieutenant stops listening to him.
Years, months, weeks,
days.
The pile of blankets grunts miserably.
I took your amphetamine, old man.
Silence. Only heat emanates from the sleeping body.
Nothing else to do in here, then. It's just sad. I feel sorry for Cuno. That's tough. Ah, there's our friend. Hang on. Was this the apartment we need to
A
go to?
weathered brown
Yeah, 20.
door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allons, yo. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard.
What's our empathy at right now? 5. That's pretty good. Can we get it any higher? Not without adding stuff. Okay.
Get yourself together. It's just police work.
Don't knock. Just leave. You don't need this. You don't need to sad it up.
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's
dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
Alright, I think I'm ready.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
A voice calls out from the other side of the door.
And someone turns down the radio.
Is this Billy Méjean's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
Let's get some information really quickly. An empty pack of red Astra cigarettes hidden under the bed. Same brand of cigarettes you found in the trash next to the deceased. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings. Can't they afford cushions? Or curtains, sorry. Packages of humanitarian aid macaroni. Some leftovers kept warm on the stovetop. Smells like buckwheat and onions here. A chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. A textbook for high school. Mathematics. Trigonometry, mostly. Posters of contemporary pop stars adorn the walls. Clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. Okay, we've got all the information.
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her face.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thanks, but I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face.
No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it?
How about some small talk before you break the news?
No. You live here with Victor, your husband, right?
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie.
Yes, I remember you mentioned them at a bookstand.
Mm-hmm. They came home later. They're good girls.
And where is everybody? I don't see anyone home.
The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
She swallows visibly.
He still hasn't come home.
No. Why? Do you have any news?
To your knowledge, did he make it to the library?
No. I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home. It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days.
What was the name of the library?
Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayro Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayro.
It is.
What was he supposed to do in the library?
Just to return a book of mine. Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Did he...
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
What was the name of the book?
I think it was, Thibault's The Glinting Carve. It was pretty good.
Remind me again, what was he wearing when you last saw him?
His old leather jacket.
Can you describe it, please?
It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so...
What about the inner lining?
Yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
There's something else I have to tell you, Billy.
She folds her hands across her chest. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
God, do I just say he's dead like that? Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Mejon, was found dead on a Martinez boardwalk.
What did you say?
Your husband, Victor Mejon, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh.
She touches her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table, where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray.
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
It's still early to say, but at first glance it seems like he slipped and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
Alcohol may have played a role, yes.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
It couldn't have been long.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief.
No words. Just give her the lieutenant's handkerchief.
A small, terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears. She looks disoriented.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
No. Take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when I come home tomorrow.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you.
She nods, but with a wretched expression.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still...
She rubs her face, runs her fingers over cheeks that have become numb.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
She runs out of breath. Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am.
We should step outside and talk.
Set the library card by her. Leave the room.
You did well.
the lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment. The balcony feels cold and quiet, with a stunning view over the district. What now?
I'll call the station tomorrow and let them know the name of the deceased.
What about Billy and her kids?
They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done.
Right. Well, this is close then.
Let's go.
Pretty tough stuff. Okay. Let's carry on.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
We got your hint. Found a key under that stone.
Beautiful.
He replies, smiling. As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for, yeah.
Beautiful.
He says again. A nearby street lamp casts shadows on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday.
It does feel like the end of the week. It's so magical. The white falling against the black.
By the way, I'm really digging the view here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you're digging things?
Why would I want to meet your friend again, sorry?
Trust me. You do.
Very well. I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I've got a couple of questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Only if you promise that we talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
Alrighty. Before he says with another disarming smile before slipping off into the night.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
He's always leaving. Why is he always leaving, Kim?
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery.
There's something different about him, but I just can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks and moves.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
The lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter. Yeah, it's very mysterious.
Very.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
And I think that is a really good note to end on. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all again in the next one. Yeah, it's some heavy stuff in this episode. If you are finding some of that stuff a bit down and depressing, I think it's time to jump outside, go for a bit of a walk, pat a dog, enjoy the sunshine a bit. That's what I'm going to go do now. And we'll be back next episode. But that's one of the things I really love about this game, is how funny and how real it can be at times. So, thank you so much. I'll see you all again in the next one. But until then, stay safe and stay well. See you later.